Now our look at the March to 2014 continues today with a look at politics in the hotly contested Georgia governor's race. We're talking about Georgia State Senator Jason Carter, who's challenging Republican incumbent Nathan Deal, trying to follow in the footsteps of his grandfather, former President Jimmy Carter, who of course was governor of Georgia before going to the White House. Joining me now from Atlanta is State Senator Jason Carter. Senator Carter, thank you very much for being with us. Well, first of all, the obvious question is name recognition and whether being your grandfather's grandson helps you in this race with Georgians.
Well, I mean, I think obviously I'm proud of my grandfather. I love him, and he's very well known and well liked in this state. But at the end of the day, this campaign is going to be about a real vision for Georgia, and we're looking not at the past but towards the future. And what we have today in the governor's office is someone who hasn't had any vision at all and has been afraid to lead on issues like education, the economy, and ethics.
Well, assuming that the Republican governor, Governor Deal, does win the primary, and he is so far ahead, what can you propose that will be different than what he has done in terms of jobs and the economy and the things that you've decided?
Sure. Well, I think one of the important things to note about that primary is that one of the people running against the governor is the sitting state school superintendent, who's a statewide elected Republican, who's running against Governor Deal because of how badly the governor has mishandled public education. And we have a series of proposals that are going to allow us to truly be honest and transparent about what we put into our education system from a funding standpoint, and then accountable on the way out. And that has to be the backbone of economic development, because the biggest drain on our economy right now in Georgia is the fact that our education system is in shambles.
Now, of course, you're not the only person with a celebrated political name. You've got Michelle Nunn, Senator Nunn's daughter, who has a long career in her own right, as you do as well, running for the Senate. So is this basically the Carter-Nunn ticket going up against the Republicans?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you know, Michelle is great, and she and I have worked together very well. As you said, she had a very good long career. But Georgia right now is at a time when it's ready for new leadership. We have had, as I said, in the governor's race and at the state level, a series of terrible mismanagement with respect to our economy and our education system. And I think folks are ready for a change. We certainly feel that energy. We certainly feel like people are ready for new leadership, and I think that we will have an exciting election in Georgia, no doubt.
One of the charged issues, racially charged issues, is whether or not the state ought to offer as an option a Confederate flag on the license plate. Where do you come down on that? Governor Deal is supporting the option.
Well, I think at the end of the day, what we have to realize our state is that our heritage is very diverse in a host of ways. We're the cradle of the civil rights movement. We have the ability to celebrate that, and we do. And one of the things that's most fundamental to me about creating my campaign and about creating a future of Georgia is one that looks like the rest of Georgia. I mean, we have a serious dearth of representatives throughout our state that look like the multicultural, multiracial state that we are, and that we will be in the future. And so I think we have to do everything we can in order to be welcoming in that regard, and to ensure that we can move forward into that future that the business community sees and that all of us see. And for example, the governor's support of... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but does that mean that the Confederate flag would be sending the wrong signal of diversity, of being welcoming to all?
I don't hear people... I don't frankly hear people talk about it that much in Georgia. I think it's the kind of thing that folks talk about on you know, national political things. But, you know, folks in Georgia have in a lot of ways moved past that from a racially charged standpoint. And what we're looking toward is the future of what our state looks like, and how we can make sure we get folks educated and make sure we get an economy that works for the middle class, and an honest government that works for everyone.
All right, Jason Carter, good luck on the campaign trail. Thank you so much. And
Thanks
of course,
so much,
we want to
Andrea.
speak to Governor Deal as well.